Hello, welcome to the first ever Wool and Honey virtual yarn shop tour. It's spring in northern Michigan, which means it's time to get ready for our big season. We had a party on Saturday night, which was so fun, where we debuted new yarns, new patterns, new samples, and I thought that there are a lot of you that would like to enjoy this as well. I know a lot of customers haven't been here since last summer, and I know some of you that are reading this blog have never even been to the shop at all. So what would make more sense than having a little video, it's like you're seeing it even when you can't be here. So why don't we start out with one of our shop favorites. We're moving around to the left side of the room. This is immediately to the left when you walk in the door. This is a yarn that, while it's not brand new for us right now, we've had it in the shop for about 3 months. This is the Malabrigo lace yarn. We've gotten about 15 new colors in last week. The Malabrigo lace. And it's 470 yards per skein. It's 50 grams. And it is a true lace weight, which means you can knit it up on size 1 needles or even up to a size 7 or 8 if you really want a drapey look. And it is $9.95, which means that it really makes a nice gift. There are lots of one skein projects that are out there. We've got a few in the shop. One of them being, this is probably the most popular. It's a little design that I came up with that just requires one skein. It's an infinity scarf, one long loop that I've got it shown here, just looped around, one short loop, one long loop, but you actually can loop it around 3 times. So it makes a ruched cowl, which I like too. So one skein, $9.95. I mean, that makes for a really nice gift. So moving along, this next section of the shop I really love. This is a new yarn company for the shop, which is called Be Sweet. And I also thought that went really well with Wool and Honey. It's a company that's based out of California, but the yarn is sourced in South Africa. It is a company that is fairly traded, which means that workers are paid fair prices for their time. This company is also centered around giving women that wouldn't maybe necessarily have the opportunity to create an income for themselves and their families. This company, Be Sweet, gives women jobs, which is pretty great. It's nice to know where your yarn comes from, and Be Sweet is very concerned with sourcing their yarns directly. It might surprise you to know that about 85% of yarns that are on the market today, commercial yarns, we really don't know exactly which farms, which fields the fibers come from. And so when you are working with companies that do know, it makes for a more ethical product. And it's something that you can just really be happy in knowing that people are paid fair prices for the work that they're doing. 3 yarns are here. I've brought in 3 yarns from Be Sweet, and there are many more that the company carries. But the first is Cotton Candy, which is this one here on the left. There are 15 colors here, I think. And it's a tone-on-tone cotton. There's a slight variegation in color. And I bought this mostly for kids' clothes, anything that needs to be machine washable. It's 130 yards, 50 grams, and it knits up at a DK weight gauge, so 5s, 6s, and it retails for $8.25. The next yarn, also from Be Sweet, is called Bambino Taffy, which is a cotton and bamboo blend that is self-striping. So I don't have the sample knit up yet. I'm working on it. It just came in on Friday. But this is a sample hat. I'm just zooming in here. This is the sample hat that comes on the ball band. So one skein makes one really cute little baby hat, and this retails for $13.25. A very cute one skein project. And then the next yarn here is the Be Sweet Bamboo, which is 100% bamboo, not something I've had in the shop for a long time. Bamboo is great because it's antimicrobial. It is also machine washable, at least this particular bamboo is, and making it really nice for kids wear, baby wear, something that's, non-wool, that's soft next to the skin, that can be machine washable, but it also would make a lovely little shawl, a wrap, something that's nice in the summertime, that's kind of silky and drapey, that would be really good for air-conditioned offices, a little tank top, a really nice, versatile summer yarn. Next yarn that's also new to us for this week. We've had this yarn in the shop before, and I would say summer of 2010, this was the most popular yarn at Wool and Honey. It is a color-changing cotton from Woollis Yarn Creation, and this is in Virginia, and there are maybe only about 7 yarn shops in North America that are carrying this yarn. So I feel really lucky to be one of them. This yarn is a 4-ply fingering weight yarn, and it works by, let's see, there are 4 strands here. It looks a little finer than it really is. I don't think I can zoom in here. But you can either knit from the inside or the outside, whichever color you feel like looks better toward your face. And what the yarn does, it starts out with 4 strands of one color. This, let's say with this color, which is Harmony, it starts out with 4 strands of lime green all together. And after a little while, one of the strands of lime green is dropped and a medium blue is inserted instead. So it's one strand of light blue, 3 of lime green. That works for a little while until a second strand of lime is dropped out and another of the blue is replaced. And so then you're working with 2 and 2. Then again, 1 more of the lime is dropped out, working 3 and 1 for a while, and then all 4 strands are blue. So what ends up happening is this really gentle gradation of color from one color to the next. Of course, I don't have a sample here right now. I'm working on it. Look to the blog later this week. I've got a shawl that's almost finished with 1 skein of this yarn. It's 480 yards, it's 100 grams, and it is $24. More. This is one of my favorite new yarns. For those of you that like a little sparkle, this is Yarn Hollow's Elemental, which is a blend of superwash merino, silk, nylon, and a little bit of silver, real silver. And it's sparkly and just, it's a fingering weight. This is sock yarn. We're in the sock yarn section now, but it knits up really nicely for socks or shawls. And I've got one here so you can see, and the lighting of course isn't all that great in this part of the shop, but you can see you get a little bit of sparkle, but not overly so. I've got a picture of this shawl on my Ravelry page. I will try to post a link to it as well so you can see how it works. Another new yarn that's here for us this week is also from Yarn Hollow. And I had forgotten to mention, I'm sorry, that Yarn Hollow is a Michigan-made company. Yay! Rita Petties does this dyeing in Granville, Michigan, which is about 3 hours from here. And this yarn that she has dyed up for us is called Summer Love, which is a blend of bamboo, cotton, and elastic nylon. So for those of you that have itchy feet, it's great. This yarn is totally wool-free. And it's not something we've had in the shop before, but we've never had a totally wool-free yarn. So this is really good for those of you that have skin sensitivities. And I'm thinking about a special customer, Bev, that I hope that you will appreciate this, Bev. More colors, a restock of the Malabrigo sock, Persia, which is one of my favorite colors and an especially hard to find color. Teal blue and chocolate brown. It's just lovely. And the Malabrigo sock has really generous yardage, 440 yards. And it's got this silky soft feel to it, which is really nice. And it is also 100 grams and it retails for $19, which is really nice. Makes for a really nice pair of socks or a lovely shawl. Then, and I'm just going to pan over some of the other things in the shop right now, only because I know I don't want to take up, 2 hours of your life here. Some kits, some wine bottle kits that I've had. My wonderful sister Liz, her Vibrant Fibers naturally dyed wool in both a worsted and a bulky weight. Lots of spinning fiber in natural colors, local alpaca, local llama from my friend Tracy. More fibers, dyed fibers from Rita, also at Yarn Hollow. Lots of hand spun yarn from Tracy, Llama Mama, and Fehrenbach Farms in Carlin. Some jewelry from Andrea, who lives just right down the road. Some buttons, our books, Peace Fleece, Eco Wool, and Malabrigo worsted, Elizabeth's Designs. Some Elizabeth lives just locally in Traverse City. And some more jewelry from my friend Andrea Dean. Artisan, Indian Lake Artisans handmade needles, which I've blogged about before, made entirely in Michigan. And then this is one other new yarn that we just got in this week too, which was probably the thing that I was looking forward to most. It's a very, very hard to find yarn out there. It's Malabrigo Rios. Again, we've got a lot of Malabrigo in the shop, but that's because it's so awesome. The Malabrigo Rios is fabulous because unlike anything else, except for the sock yarn, but this is a worsted weight yarn that knits up at 4.5 stitches to the inch, a typical light worsted weight. And the thing that separates it from all the other yarns that Malabrigo has is the fact that it's machine washable. So even though it's a more mature palette, darker, more murky, muddy colors, which I love, it is machine washable. So really, you could make a really nice baby sweater, a baby blanket, or just an easy care women's sweater, mittens, hats. And we do have a one skein project here. This is just one of many one skein projects that you could do with one skein of Malabrigo Rios. But this is the Chic Knits Cassidy's cap. Chic Knits is a pattern company. Designer Bon Marie Burns, and she lives in Chicago, which is, of course, just 6 hours from here. And this one skein project utilizes one skein of the Malabrigo Rios. This is in color Kumparsita. Reds and purples, really lovely. And this is just one thing that you could do with the Rios. The Rios is 210 yards, 100 grams, and it's $14. A couple of other samples, a really lovely cowl, and then this brand new pattern that we've never had in the shop. Oh, I'm getting a little glare here. This is by Jill Zielinski, another Michigan knitwear designer, Smocked Slouch, which I think would be perfect in the Rios. So, while we've got lots of other things here in the shop that we're just sort of glossing over today. Needles, more jewelry, beautiful Michigan stitch markers, our signature bee soap. Oh, and here's a pattern. I'm starting in on a baby blanket with the Bee Sweet Cotton Candy. And of course you can see it's a little rainbow that I've got going on. Getting close to the end of the red section. So, but I thought you might enjoy seeing what's going on around the shop lately. We'll be back soon with more yarns, more news, and just keep checking the blog for more information. Have a great day.